That's great. Well, I think that it looks like our first guest has finally been able to connect, and so I'd like to get this day started off. And without further ado, welcome our first speaker, Timescale CEO Ajay Kulkarni, and it's great to see you, man.
Hey, great to see you. Thank you all for, thank you the two of you for starting us off with such like lively conversation and
It's all in
smiling
the
faces.
copy. It's all in
It's
the
all in
copy.
the copy. That's great. Well, hi, I'm Ajay. I'm the co-founder, CEO of Timescale. Thank you all for watching. Um, Maybe I'll start off with a quick summary of who we are, maybe what our mission is. At Timescale, we're dedicated to serving developers like yourself. And then, what does serving mean? Well, we believe that we serve developers the best by enabling them to build exceptional data-driven products that measure everything that matters. And everything, it could mean products that measure, software applications, industrial equipment, financial markets, blockchain activity, user actions, consumer behavior, machine learning models, climate change, and a lot more. And in fact, what we found is that probably what you can find with those other examples is that time series data, like it used to be this niche thing, but it's really become ubiquitous. And it's become ubiquitous because by analyzing data across time, aka time series data, developers get the dynamic view of what's happening right now, the dynamic view of what's happening, how that's changing, and why that's changing. Um, One analogy we like to use is, most databases give you kind of a static image of what's happening in your world. But with time series data and with TimescaleDB, you get to watch the movie of what's happening and watch it unfold. As a company, we've raised over 70 million in funding, and we're backed by top tier investors, including some of the same folks who backed Mongo, Snowflake, Databricks, and many more in the kind of the database space. And they believe, as do we, that Timescale's destiny is to become a company at that scale.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's been fun to see the growth of the company, particularly these last couple of months. I think we have some slides.
Yeah,
Where are
I
the
think
slides? Going to always be launching. Sorry about that.
maybe you want me to keep riffing?
Yeah, go ahead and keep going for the moment.
I'll keep riffing. Let's do this. This is great. Yeah. So one question I get asked a lot, and in fact, right now we're hiring a lot because the team is growing very quickly. So one interview question I get asked a lot, which I love answering, is, what do you love the most about Timescale? And I love this question because I have a two-part answer. Number one, the thing I love the most is the people. And I know that's a cliche answer, and I hate cliches, but it's just true. It's just true that we've built such an awesome team of such high quality, high output people who are also helpful and humble. It's not just being awesome, but it's also being, helpful and humble. And that's really been, and I think it's people like kind of yourself, Ryan and Miranda, and I think it's folks like you that have really been the key to our success. But there's a second thing I love that's also tied to the people, and it's this thing that um, it's about how quickly we innovate and how as we like to say, we move fast without breaking things. And you kind of see that in this slide right here, is that we ship features and new products and features year round, but 2 to 3 times a year we step up the pace into what we call a launch month. And this past month, October 2021, was our second launch month of the year. And we shipped all these things in 1 month. And there's a second time we've done something like this. So it's pretty wild.
That's awesome. Yeah, so every year we see the problem of time series data just kind of getting bigger, right? And so we're heading. What the past 2 years has been for everybody, and I think people are trying to figure out what happens in this space and innovation next. What do you see with 2022 and beyond, and the kind of problems that we're going to be addressing?
Yeah. Well, if you don't mind, I actually would like to follow up on this first part of this
Oh,
question.
go
If you don't
for it.
mind, go
Sure,
back
sure.
one slide. Yeah. Is that I love that question, right? But so I'm on put on pause for like 1 minute. I just wanted to
No
add. I
worries.
just realized one more thing I wanted to add to that previous part is one thing you see in these launches, and what I especially love is that from the beginning of Timescale, we have a team that's taken on challenges that others thought were impossible. And from the beginning, we've had our share of skeptics and some haters. And they've said things like, "Oh, you can't get performance out of Postgres. You won't be able to scale out. You won't be able to achieve a good storage footprint. SQL is
He used
too
to be one of those
hard."
haters, by the way.
We have friends now. He's one of those haters, and by the way, we love converting haters into friends. We love hiring, but former haters. We're not a hating company, right?
Not at all.
Not at all. But and what was fascinating is our response to those kind of points of skepticism, and some of those are valid points of skepticism, right?
For sure.
Is that no, those things aren't impossible. They're just hard, but we're the team who can do it. And time and time again, we've done the impossible. We've launched hyper tables from the very beginning. We launched native compression in 2019 that achieved 25% storage savings. We launched continuous aggregates. In 2020, we launched multi-node, which enables you to scale out to petabyte scale. Most recently, just this month, we launched pipeline functions, it's so cool. It's almost like an evolutionary improvement in SQL that radically improves the developer ergonomics of analyzing data in SQL. And so just to wrap up the first question before I get to the second one, Ryan, is, what I love the most about Timescale, it's the fact that we've built such a great team, which time and time again has been able to do the impossible and build not just a great database product, but also a great database experience.
For sure. It is. It's exciting.
So cool.
It's exciting to watch from behind the scenes, like to see all the conversation and the thought and detail about what's next and why we're approaching things. It's fun to see it come to fruition and know what's been happening to make it happen.
No, and you point this out, Ryan, that you were a Timescale user. You were valued in Timescale before you joined the company, and you've come from this world where typically the options are, oh hey, I either get something like Postgres, which is easy to use and versatile but doesn't scale, or I have to go non-relational, which is scalable, but then you lose all those things that make a database like Postgres great. And one thing we've shown is that you can scale Postgres. You can scale Postgres, and particularly you can scale it for time series workloads in a way that is as good as, if not better than, some other non-relational databases for a time series, but retains all of the goodness of Postgres plus time series.
Right. Awesome. So, what about some challenges? What are you seeing in the future?
Yeah. So what's in store for 2022? So I think, in line with our culture of innovating quickly, we've have a lot planned for the next few months, as you can see on the slide. Quite a lot of features across database, cloud, in prom scale, and this is not a full list. This is probably just what folks could fit on this slide. We don't want to provide too many words, right? And so there's a lot, but I think what's really exciting about the future is that every year the scope of the problem we're addressing, seems to get bigger. First we thought, first when we launched in 2017, we thought, oh, we're building the best database for IoT. Okay, cool, it's great. IoT, huge, revolutionary, part of the market that's growing. Okay, great. Then we thought, oh, okay, cool. Actually, it's bigger than IoT. There's this whole category called time series, really big category. Time series data becoming ubiquitous, and we're building the best time series database. I'm like, okay, cool. That sounds exciting, right? And then last year, when we went all in on cloud, we were able to, one advantage of going all in on cloud is we actually able to have both a much closer relationship with our customers because we're actually managing the software for them, and we essentially realized that based on the feedback they gave us, that they were using us for more than time series, and I think where we are now is wow, this isn't just about time series, but it's really about building a better relational database. In fact, building a better Postgres that outperforms for time series, and that's how our customers are using us today. So what I'd like to say, in terms of opportunities for the future, is that Timescale, it isn't just about time series. It's actually about building the next great database business. And I have to add this here. is that folks who are watching or folks who are listening, if any of this is interesting to you or sounds like fun to you, we're hiring. We're actually hiring across the board. You can look on our website. There are even more roles that I haven't even been posting on the website. If there's anything that looks interesting, please apply. Feel free to drop me an email. I'm ajay@timescale.com. If there are things that you want to do that aren't on the website, apply as well, because again, we're growing and not everything has been posted.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
That's great. Ajay, it's been great to have you help us get this day started and kicked off. Thank you so much. Any final thoughts just about kind of what you're most excited about as we finish up the year, finish up Always Be Launching? What's been your favorite thing so far this month?
I mean, this month has been great. This month,
Yeah, it has been great.
what did we do this month? First we launched the new Timescale Cloud. Then we had a week with 3 different posts that reached the #1 slot on Hacker News. First time we've ever done that. I'm not sure how common that is, but I don't think it's super common. We this week have a lot other features have been shipping. We're doing something very exciting tomorrow, which I will not talk about, but stay tuned. Something very cool. It's happening tomorrow. It's super cool. Yeah, I think what's really great is that I look at this year. We've more than doubled in headcount this year. The team has grown quickly. We now have, I don't know, 80 people in 21 countries and 6 continents, 60 locations. And I think what's been great is despite all that growth, I feel like we've still maintained what's made us great as a company, kind of maintain our culture. And I think we'll be able to attract people who are just, I think everyone's been so positive and such a net add, like a culture add, like a team add to the company. No, it's just I look back at this year and it's actually a little exhausting because you realize like, wait, we did all that like that, I look at October and it's exhausting. So I think the pace is really exciting. I think the fact we're growing the team so well and so quickly is exciting. I guess I'm just excited.
Cool. Awesome. Well, we have a number of things to get to, so I think we're going to push on to the next set. Some of our first.
Thank you both.
Thank you. Take care.